Hello and welcome to Technophile.de. My name is Klaus and I'm going to show you the Alcatel One Touch 997D Ultra, a dual SIM phone, and it's actually my first English video here on YouTube, my first unboxing or review in English, but I realized that there's almost no information around that telephone on the channel so far, no reviews on the web in English, so I thought I'll fill that gap in and do a quick unboxing together with you and also give you some first impression on the phone. I already started testing it, so I can already tell you quite a bit of it. So here we go. A nice little feature of the packaging is a strip here. It's very easy to lift off the phone and get it out without dropping it. So here we go. Another interesting feature, besides the crumbly plastic bag, is that the phone actually comes kind of dismantled without the back snapped on. Let's put it aside for a moment and look what else is in the package. So here is some paperwork, guarantee and so on. That's the German version here, so maybe you will find something different in there. Then we come to the back cover. This is the version called Ardesia, in German at least. Which obviously stands for grey. Nice grey with a kind of metallic finish, feeling a little bit rubbery, so it's not slippery in the hand, and not like those sometimes somewhat cheesy looking Samsung phones. So I kind of like that feel. Then we have a battery here, a nice little one, because it's actually a 1800 milliampere hours battery, so quite a strong one, especially if we later on look at the price tag. Well, the rest is common stuff here: USB cable with a micro USB connector, a headset, actually an in-ear type one, that's kind of nice, and a plug that's now here again the European version, the typical USB charging plug, a rather clumsy one. I'm actually used to smaller ones these days, but well, let's push these things aside and have a closer look at the phone here. What we see is actually a 4.3-inch screen. It has a wide VGA resolution, so 480 times 800 pixels. Let's come to the more specs later on and maybe put in the battery and have it boot up, so while it boots I can tell you a bit more. One of the most interesting features is what you can see here. Well, it's hard to see actually in real life, would be more difficult I guess in the video. That's actually a dual SIM slot. So let's grab two SIM cards. I've got a T-Mobile one here. Let's check how should that fit in. There is a small pictogram of how they fit in. So they're actually inserted on top of each other and facing each other, so to say, so the contacts almost touch. So the lower one gets with the contacts upside, the upper one gets in there with the contacts downside. Yeah, and it's very handy if you have one of the newer SIM cards with the breakout possibility for making it a micro SIM. It's full SIMs here actually, because this little part here there where it's already broken a little bit helps pulling it out. Okay, let's put in the battery. Here we go, and snap on the back plate to have a complete phone finally. Yep, it snaps on. You heard those clicking noises. Here we go. Now we have a more than 140 grams heavy phone, so it's a little bit heavy, but I know that quite a few people like actually heavy phones. I love them when they're lighter. I think it looks quite nice. I already mentioned the rubbery feel of the back plate. Let's boot it, have it boot, and then see around what else it offers. So here we go. Battery is charged. It's starting to boot. We already see a quite bright screen. Let's look around. On the left hand side we don't have anything. On the top we have the 3.5 millimeters headphone or headset jack, the standby button, which I just used to switch it on. It's now booting. This is a little bit of a copy of the HTC design, isn't it? On the right hand side we have the volume rockers. And down here we only have the micro USB port and a microphone hole. Here we go, we see the lock screen already and the pin number entry. Okay, so here we are. I booted up the phone, entered the pin numbers, and let's show you first the lock screen. That's quite the typical ice cream sandwich lock screen we see here, and also the interface we see on the home screen, the launcher, is pretty much ice cream sandwich or Android standard. There are different symbols here. They have changed the iconography a little bit. There is a colorful background and so on. Also, if you go into the app drawer, there is more icons that have been modified. Look a little bit more similar to the iPhone. I'm not sure if that's a good idea legally wise, and don't want to get in the same situation as Samsung, but well. Besides that, there are rather little modifications to Android done here, which I find a positive thing. I actually like the interface of Ice Cream Sandwich a lot. What you can see here already, that wiping through the different screens is really fluent. There is no hiccups. It works very smoothly. Also in the app drawer, and I can confirm the same thing for browsing the web. Not sure where I'm ending up here, but let's find a nice website like that one here. Browsing really works smoothly. Now, if you take into account that this is actually more or less of a budget phone, it costs less than 200 euros here in Germany. It's the cheapest phone that you can get, basically, with a decent screen, 4.3-inch screen with 480 by 800 pixels, with a dual-core CPU with 1 gigahertz, with 1 gigabyte of RAM. It's kind of unique in this price class. Only the Panasonic Aluga, which obviously doesn't sell well and has dropped the price quite steeply, is in the same region here. It really performs well. Unfortunately, for some reason, I didn't really get a connection to my website now. So let's skip that for now, but I can assure you that browsing and scrolling, zooming, pinch to zoom works really nicely on that phone. Let's have a quick look at the app drawer. I've installed a few additional applications, I think 3 of them, like Antutu, but all of the rest you see here was actually pre-installed, and that's quite a lot. So there's a lot of Gameloft stuff, like 100% games. There are like 4 or 5 game demos like Asphalt 6 and Assassin's Creed, Bubble Breaker, and so on. There is a lot of stuff in there that first needs to download a few hundred megabytes more and fills up the very small memory of that phone. It only has just like 1.5 gigabyte of flash memory, and only like half a gigabyte is really available for you. So it quickly fills that phone with additional stuff. When you, for example, want to start Asphalt 6, it wants to download more than 400 megabytes. So that's kind of annoying that there is so much stuff on here that Alcatel already pre-installed. But the nice thing is that if you go into the app management, you can actually remove these things. At least there's the option to uninstall. I have not yet dared to do that because it's not my phone, it's just a test device, and I don't really want to remove stuff there that afterwards will be missing even when I do a factory reset. So far for the first impressions, two things more that I want to show you from the software are 2 modifications that Alcatel did, which are actually nice. The first thing is that in the status screen you have up here quick settings, actually 3 different pages of them for defining different screen parameters like brightness, timeout, and so on, for switching off the most important stuff like Wi-Fi or data connection, and here for the volume, silencing, and modifying the volume. So I think this is quite a nice feature. You see that more often CyanogenMod has it, Samsung has it, my Huawei also has it. That's a nice addition onto Android. And the second thing is in the settings, so let's go this way here. It's actually the very first point in the settings sections, the SIM management. And that's because it is a dual SIM phone, and I don't think this is native Android. I think this is added by Alcatel, but I'm not 100% sure. You can configure a lot about the two different SIMs you have. First of all, you see Telecom.de and O2.de, that's the network names that I'm on with the two different cards that are in right now. You can switch both of them on or off. And for voice calls, video calls, messaging and data connection, you can separately choose if they want to always go through one of the two SIM cards or always ask you. You can do the same even for the data connection, so it doesn't matter where you put your data plan SIM, you can configure that here. Of course, it is a phone with just one radio unit, so you can't use both SIM cards at the same. When you do a call with one, the other one will be deactivated for that time and will reroute calls to your voicemail usually. Same thing as if you were talking on that same SIM card. But still, it's quite nice. You are available on both numbers. You can choose which of the numbers to call. I think that's very nicely implemented. Yeah, coming to a first resume, after playing around with the phone for a bit more than a day, I really think it is a lot of bang for the price, so to say. For just below 200 euros, it is a very powerful phone. It feels very smooth. I have had phones for test which had almost double the price and still had not such a fluent optics and fluent UI as this one here. So for now it looks like a really good recommendation. If you don't mind that your phone is a little bit thicker than the latest ones, that it is a little bit heavy, like 145 grams I think it is. So other phones like my Huawei S&P one, for example, have just 110 grams. So that's a significant addition to the weight. But I know that a lot of people actually like heavy phones, actually like the feel of quality here. And it feels quite good quality, even though it is an affordable phone. The only thing, when you knock on here, that feels kind of hollow. But the rest really feels sturdy, feels nice in your hand. It's not slippery. It has a nice touch to it. So looks like a good recommendation. I'll do a more extensive test of that. Definitely we'll do a more elaborated German review, and if I see a lot of interest in this English video here, I'll probably also do an English review of that later on. That will probably be mid-November. Okay, so far folks, if you like this video, please let me know, like it, bookmark me, and please let me know if you want to see more English videos of me, then I will see what I can do. Thanks, my name's Klaus from technophile.de. Talk to you later.